Azerbaijan has launched anti-terrorist operations in areas of its Nagorno-Karabakh region under ethnic Armenian control, threatening to carry on until the end. Tensions in the South Caucasus have been high for months around the breakaway enclave, recognized internationally as part of Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan and Armenia last went to war 3 years ago. Baku made clear the latest offensive would stop only with a surrender. Illegal Armenian military formations would have to raise the white flag, hand over all weapons and dissolve the illegal regime, the Azerbaijani presidency said in a statement. Azerbaijan and Armenia first went to war in the early 1990s after the fall of the Soviet Union. Then in 2020 Azerbaijan recaptured areas in and around Nagorno-Karabakh before a truce was agreed and monitored by Russian peacekeepers. Ethnic Armenians in Karabakh appealed on Tuesday for a ceasefire and for talks to start, but it was clear from the Azerbaijani ultimatum that Baku's aim was to complete its conquest of the mountainous enclave. Azerbaijan said talks could start in the town of Yevlak, some 100 kilometers, 60 kilometers, north of the Karabakh regional capital of Kankendi, called Stepanakert by ethnic Armenians. Since the end of 2020, 3,000 Russians have monitored the fragile truce, but Moscow's attention has been diverted by its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Russia said its soldiers were evacuating civilians from Karabakh and had moved almost 500 from the most at-risk areas. An estimated 120,000 ethnic Armenians live in the mountainous enclave. For the past 9 months, Azerbaijan has imposed an effective blockade on the only route into the enclave from Armenia, known as the Lukan Corridor. Azerbaijan said it had launched its operation in response to the deaths of 6 people, including 4 police, in 2 fatal landmine explosions on Tuesday morning. Air raid sirens then rang out and the sound of artillery and gunfire could be heard in Karabak's main city. Residential buildings were damaged and journalist Srenush Sargsyan described seeing a building next door to her being hit. Karabak's human rights ombudsman said 2 civilians, including a child, were killed and several other children were among the wounded. Defense officials in the breakaway region said the Azerbaijani military had violated the ceasefire along the entire line of contact with missile artillery strikes. Other Karabakh representatives spoke of a large-scale military offensive, although later reports said that the intensity of fire had decreased. The Azerbaijan Defense Ministry insisted it was not targeting civilians or civilian buildings, and that only legitimate military targets are being incapacitated by the use of high-precision weapons. It accused Armenian forces of systematic shelling of its army positions and said it had responded by launching local, anti-terrorist activities to disarm and secure the withdrawal of formations of Armenia's armed forces from our territories. In a brief televised address, Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan rejected claims that his military was involved and accused Azerbaijan of launching a ground operation aimed at ethnic cleansing of Karabakh Armenians. Russia's foreign ministry said it had been warned of the Azerbaijani offensive only minutes in advance and urged both countries to respect the ceasefire signed after the war in 2020. The EU's regional special representative, Toivo Klar, said there was urgent need for immediate ceasefire. South Caucasus commentator Lawrence Browers said on Tuesday the Armenian population in Karabakh had been weakened by the blockade and the Azerbaijan operation had been launched seemingly to retake Armenian-populated Karabakh in its entirety. The Armenian Prime Minister said recently that Russia was spontaneously leaving the region. Azerbaijan has meanwhile had strong support from its ally Turkey. Hikmet Hoxhayev, special advisor to Azerbaijan's President Ilham Aliyev, called on the separatist ethnic Armenian administration to dissolve itself, insisting that civilian rights would be upheld by the country's constitution. Azerbaijan had denied building up troop numbers in the region. On Monday, it allowed aid from the International Committee of the Red Cross into Karabakh on 2 roads, one via the Lukan Corridor from Armenia and the other on Azerbaijan's Agdam Road. Before Tuesday's offensive began, there had been hopes that tensions might subside. The Azerbaijan Defense Ministry released images of a vehicle which it said were destroyed by a landmine, but ethnic Armenian officials said it was Azerbaijan's military that had violated the ceasefire.